Well, good afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are at. I'm Brad.
I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead, and we are here to answer the burning question that you continue to ask us.
Yes, and our friends.
Are we gonna tell them, or we'll wait? We'll wait till after the little. Okay, so here's the title. Okay, so a question that we get asked a lot is why homesteading?
Why are you doing this?
I mean, we had a life that was pretty much, I was tech-based, I had recording studio, video production, and that was our lives. And so people, they scratch their heads and they say, why are you doing all this? It's a lot of work. So you go from being, in a recording studio situation to learning gardening and bees and chickens and all that. What the heck are you doing? Why?
Well, in the beginning, it was just to pretty much be able to take care of our family. If there was a snowstorm or, lights out, their electricity was out, or, what if something happened to the power grid, or, just the what if.
Yeah, it was basically more of a prepper mentality.
Right.
Where we realized we didn't know how to grow anything or store anything, can anything,
Nope.
Let alone having living animals and stuff like that.
Right.
And it first was like that panic moment where you're like, oh my gosh, if there was a disruption in something as basic as trucking, we wouldn't be able to eat because we don't have anything more than 3 days on the shelf.
Right.
So then we started learning skills.
Right. We started, first off, we started by storing beans and rice and things like that.
All the
Then we
panic
thought-
stuff.
All the panic stuff. Well, okay, when that runs out, what do? Okay, we need to learn how to grow this stuff beforehand, before an event or whatever catastrophe, and then learn how to preserve that stuff that we grew. And then for a child that we have a special needs child who has to eat through a G-tube.
That's specialized.
That you don't have just, mountains of Pediasure that she could survive on. You have to figure out a different way that she can eat.
Which we
figured out.
We figured out. Trial and error. I know a lot of you guys look at us and you scratch your heads and go, you're doing that wrong, because you've been doing it your whole life and you can see our mistakes. Well, we're learning.
Yeah.
This is the most foreign thing you can imagine.
Right.
Taking a guy who's literally in a rock star Christian rock band and saying, okay, go feed your family. Huh? That wasn't my stomach.
No,
that was a pig.
Pigs. No, and I didn't grow up on a farm or anywhere near a farm. I grew up in the suburbs where there was a grocery store less than a mile from the house. We always had stuff to eat. We never really grew anything. I think my mom maybe had a small garden when I was a kid, but...
Well, and so that's how it kind of started, where we went from the, oh my gosh moment to, we need to learn skills.
Yeah.
But now it's far deeper than that. If we talk about the money component, we save a ton of money on all of the stuff that we never grew, stored, fixed. We just throw things away and go buy a new one.
Right.
Now we repurpose everything we can absolutely do. And we save a ton of money just by trying to be more responsible.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna let Mama talk about the health component, because the food we eat, let me just say this. We saw this movie called Farm Inc. And it was about industrialized, mechanized food production of animals. And it turned my stomach inside out. And I made my mind up right then. I was like, if we're going to eat meat, we're raising it, because the way that they treat these animals is abhorrent.
Yeah, that's the thing, and they're pumped full of antibiotics and growth hormones, and the food that they eat is not conducive for a healthy animal
or healthy person.
Or health. Then if that person eats that unhealthy animal, they're not going to be a healthy person.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, we want to be able to raise our own beef, our pork, our chicken, have our own milk, have our own eggs,
Butter, cheese.
Exactly. Butter, cheese, yogurt. There's so many things that can come from that milk that you can use here at home. And
The
chicken is making a really strange sound, and it sounds like a baby screaming.
But the health,
Yes.
the actual, not only are we being more responsible because we're not contributing to this horrible mechanized treatment of these animals, but we're also getting a far better product because we know exactly what we put into that animal, whether it's, I know the guy who did our hay. I know where that grass came from.
Right.
I know what he put on it or didn't put on it.
Right.
I know what feed goes into these animals. And another thing, I know that what their animals are being treated like.
Exactly. It hurts my heart when I see these videos of these chickens being swept up like dirt. And that just
Or
breaks
just
my heart.
got, people flinging them around and abusing them, and
I'm sorry, that's.
I can't do it. There's a lot of people that can just ignore it. I can't.
And not everybody can do what we're doing. And this is just from our standpoint. We're not condemning anyone else. This is how we feel about it.
The animals.
Thank you.
The way.
Yeah.
We both get emotional about it.
Right. I get emotional about it, and then I lose my train of thought, and it's just Yeah.
Okay. The animals. The way that we look at it is we do our best to make sure that they are protected, healthy. If they're hurt in any way, we take care of it.
Yep.
We provide for them absolutely everything they need and happy as much as we can make them.
Yeah.
And then they only have 1 second of a bad day.
Right.
And that's it. So we view it as symbiotic.
Yes.
That we're providing for them, we're taking care of them, and then when it's time when they would go,
They take care of us.
they take care of us. And so I know that's a long-winded answer of why we homestead, but it's food insurance for your family. It's cheaper. When you start making your own things, it's healthier.
Well, we're also teaching our children to hopefully be able to pass these skills on to them, and then they can do those things for their families as well, and
Absolutely.
then teach those children, and just pass these things on that have almost been forgotten about and just pushed off to the side because of the
Everything's cheap.
because
It's
of
on
the
grocery
industry.
store. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so that's why we do it. And as Chris was saying earlier, I know that not everybody can raise your own chicken or your own pigs or whatever it is that you fill in the blank.
Right.
But I would have to say I'd like to challenge you that even if you live in an apartment, see about getting a few like garden tower things to put out on a terrace or something.
Right.
And that way, even then, you'll see. I'll tell you what. Here's the challenge. You grow your own tomatoes and compare your grown tomatoes to those lifeless pink orbs they sell in the grocery store and call them tomatoes. If you don't think what you grow is better, I don't think I can help you, because there's no comparison.
No, there is none. When you get a fresh tomato off of your vine,
Warm. Cut into it.
there is
little salt.
nothing like it. Our kids, when there's fruit and veggies growing in the garden, it's very rare that they actually come in for lunch.
Because they're just out there. Ooh, this one's good.
They're picking from the garden.
And that's great.
Lettuce, beans, peas, tomatoes, cucumbers. They'll just sit there and eat a whole cucumber. Peppers. They'll eat bell peppers like they're going out of style.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind of the answer.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that is answers because a lot of you ask. And so there you have it.
Yep.
So that's it for the day, guys. I'm Brad.
And I'm Christa.
And you guys have a blessed and amazing day.
Now, one last thing before we completely sign off, I wanted to make an offer to all of you out there. I would like to sell the cookbook for you for Mother's Day, for the month of May, the whole month of May, especially for Mother's Day. We're gonna put the cookbook on sale for $3 off. So the link will be down below, as well as the coupon code. But for the entire month of May 2019, the cookbook, not the coupon, the cookbook will be on sale $3 off. So please don't forget to get your copy down below.